Hey, Matt, it's been a little while, but we're back. And today we're going to talk about how to bury negative search results on Google. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. So Google's changed a lot over the years. And I thought maybe we could start by maybe you could share one or two things that used to work, that you used to do that would push down negative search results that no longer works.
Yeah. So when I was at one of my competitors, long time ago, when I was working for a competitor before I started my own thing, we would do a lot of free Web 2.0 sites, sites like Twitter, LinkedIn, and imagine LinkedIn competitors that never really took off, but they were free to sign up. You could post your information, your bio, and they would actually rank back in the day pretty decent. In the last year, they don't rank at all, with the exception of the big ones: Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, maybe Instagram, Pinterest, if you have a lot of stuff posted on there, but the bang for your buck's not there. Google's really steered away from those free sites to pay to play sites. So pay to play sites, in my head, would be like interviews. They do very, very well. There's a wide variety of them. You own one. It's a great one. Inspiry. IdeaMensch.com magazine. There's a whole list. They are doing very well lately. The downside is you have to pay to get on them. But Google almost seems like they know that these free sites just have so much spam on them that they're not ranking them well anymore.
Yeah. Well,
So
before you move on to some of the stuff that is working now, you mentioned some of the social media sites that are Web 2.0, but Web 2.0 is basically any site that's like kind of open source that anybody can submit to. And this could include like WordPress.com. I mean, there were all kinds of weird social media. I remember there was one called Plurk, Plurk.com. And you're right. Some of these, I mean, you just throw stuff at the wall and some of it would stick and work. And what you're saying now is that Google's just devalued all of them.
except if it's negative, ironically. So if you write a hit piece on someone on WordPress, it'll do well. And the rationale is people will click on it because they're curious about the slander, and that drives it up. But a positive puff piece on a WordPress free blog doesn't rank well anymore.
Now, what about like medium.com? Because I see a lot of like Medium, Crunchbase. What about
Crunchbase
those?
does great. Medium does great through channels they have, like Authority Magazine is a fabulous one. You have to be an entrepreneur of some kind to get in, but we can help you with that. But just a regular Medium doesn't do ideal, won't do terrible. It's not going to rank like LinkedIn does, but there's still a few out there for sure, but the list is dwindling.
So you have to be very selective, and it's definitely not as easy as it was a few years ago.
Yeah, and it might pop, it might not. It's ironic. We might do a medium for one client, it's on page one, doing a medium for another client, it's on page seven. Uh,
Right.
just
Well,
kind of depends what pops and what doesn't.
and I guess kind of given that unpredictable nature, you don't even spend a lot of time on the ones that, if they're not working most of the time, you don't even spend time, developing the content, posting it.
Yeah, content writing is expensive. It does help the SEO process a little bit. So if you have a exact match domain, so www.mikemunter.com, you can promote that website with these free Web 2.0 sites. The SEO benefits are there, search engine optimization. Basically, Google thinks that a lot of these free websites are mentioning a homepage, your personal name, so it
Right.
helps it rank better. But at the end of the day, we only have a certain amount of firepower with each package that the client gives us a certain amount of money to spend, our time and publication fees. And in my opinion, the best money to be spent is interviews and press releases. That's where the
Right.
future is.
And that's kind of, I mean, that's where I was going. That's what, sets us apart maybe from some of these larger companies, other than, these super huge budgets. But we're so affordable because we're focusing on those handful of things that actually work and get results.
Exactly. That's the thing that's the big difference between us and most normal companies. I mean, if you are a large budget, yeah, you can buy your way into Forbes, Entrepreneur, Inc.com. But if you have a few $100s to work with a month, our competitors are just signing up these free websites. They'll buy you a domain because domains are $12 a year, hosting is a few bucks a month, it's not much. So domains are a great bang for your buck, but they're not going to get you into the interview sites that charge you $200 each because that would just eat up the profits too much.
Yeah, and so
We're willing to do it. Depends on the package, of course, but um, I think interview sites are typically a few hundred, seeing 100 and 250.
mhm.
Press releases are my overhead on them is about 50 to 250. So much less overhead, and they rank really well, which is nice.
Yeah, and so aside from the press releases and interview sites, I know you're a big believer in social media and exact match domains too.
Yes, yeah, that's the best bang for your buck is exact match, and it's just you should buy your own domain before someone else does. Had countless clients who have come to me because someone bought their name and decided to write a hit piece on it. So it's always good to own your own real estate.
Yeah. And then back to, you mentioned like Forbes and Entrepreneur, those are, I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars to get, control of good interview content or sponsored content on those sites. If someone wanted that, we've got connections, right? They could buy it a la carte if they wanted to. Of course, we'd mark it up a little bit for our time, but it's available, right?
Yeah, I mean, my overhead on it is a few thousand. It's not like I'm charging a few thousand. You need to pick some of the good story they're actually going to bite at, and the piece will basically just mention them, not be all about them. So at the end of the day, yeah, it'll rank well, but it'll rank just as well as a press release that costs $100.
Right.
The only difference is with a press release, you can't put it on your website being like, "Hey, I was featured in Globe Newswire." It's like, oh, you bought your way in there blatantly. With Forbes, it looks a little more organic, even though it's not.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good bragging rights. But if you're on a limited budget, no. Press releases, interviews, and buy your name.
Yeah. Okay. So just to wrap up, if you have negative search results for your name, and especially if they can't be removed, the alternative is to push them down. And, we're the affordable month-to-month company that you can use to push those down and get great results.
Yeah, everything's on a month-to-month basis, no commitment. The first month is 100% money back guarantee if you're unhappy for literally any reason at all, which is why everyone loves us. We're very good at what we do, but maybe about 95%. So the 5% that we're not successful with, we'll give you your money back. Sorry, we couldn't help you. And so yeah, no risk, give us a try.
Great. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Mike.